All right, I'm back in the garage after taking 2 weeks off, and the goal is to get this floor pan in. But the first step in order to be able to do that is I've got to go ahead and fix this inner footwell. So let me show you the patch panel that I've created and that I'm getting ready to weld in. So when I did the repair on the driver's side, what I ultimately ended up doing was creating a panel that had a flange on it that basically rested behind it, and then I plug welded it to hold it in place. I wanted to do something different this time. I wanted to just make it a one piece and just butt it up and do a butt weld and weld it all the way down through instead of using the flange. So I got this piece cut and made to go into this inner footwell, and you can see how it all matches up. So I'm going to prep it and then go ahead and weld it along this top and weld it over here, and then it'll be ready to weld to the floor as well. Okay, let me show you where I am so far. I went ahead and welded this piece in. I have a little tab over there for a spot weld, but I'm not gonna spot weld that yet until I actually get the angle right once the floor's in. But yeah, this is good. I feel like it's one good solid piece. I also spent some time cleaning off these rails. Whoever did the repairs on this before had used basically, I think that's brass filling, welding in to weld that panel in. So I ground those down and cleaned off the rest of these. I'm not quite ready yet to weld in the floor. So one of the things I noticed with the new floor pan is it doesn't have the nut or the bolt where the ground strap goes for the engine, and this is the old one. I kept it because I wanted to be able to line this up. I don't know how important it is to get it in exactly the same spot, but since I kept it, I can line it up. So one of the things I'm going to have to do is line this up, mark it, drill a hole, and then there's a captive nut on the other side, and I may just honestly just cut this one out and welded it on the other side and use the nut that actually was on the old floor. But I'm going to need to do that before I weld the new floor in. So that's the next thing I'm going to work on. So that's all welded in and ready to go. So that's one more step of getting closer to putting this floor in. All right, so I've been out working in the garage. I think everything prepped. I've got about 4 more holes I need to drill on the floor pan that'll attach right here. But I've got my plug holes, my plug weld holes, and I've primed everything. So I'm gonna finish these last couple of holes on the actual panel. I've already prepped a lot of it too, and I'll be ready to clamp it in and weld this floor pan in finally. Okay, so I've already started welding this floor pan in. Basically what my strategy was is I got it all clamped in place, and then I went ahead and just tack welded. These were a couple plug welds I went ahead and did. Tack welded the corners up here, and I'm getting ready to do this. Once I have all the corners tack welded in, then I'm gonna roll the car over and start plug welding from the inside. And then the last thing I'll do is come back and finish this edge, which will take some time. It's a pretty long stitch weld. So I'm gonna work on it. This is a lot of welding. It's just a lot of welding to get all the way around on this floor pan. So I think I'm gonna keep working away at it and hopefully get it done here pretty soon. It's actually kind of easier, I found, to do these with it standing straight up as opposed to it being flat, because I'm not bending over. I can just reach through and use a magnet to pull it flat. So I think this is the best spot, at least to reach some of these welds. So after tacking the bottom side of it, I've gone through and basically done this whole semicircle, just pressing in from the bottom side as I go to make good contact, and then plug welding to draw it even closer. Now I'm going to move in and do the front wheel well, or foot well, not wheel well, but the inner foot well, and do it in the same way. All right, this floor is in. I still need to go along and finish up the stitch weld on the seam, but I ran out of argon gas, so I'm gonna have to go get a refill on that. But after I get the seam done and a couple of the little plug welds, this floor will be finished, and this midget will have a complete new floor. In the next episode, we're gonna start working on that inner sill and then move into the outer sill and the A-post. Finishing up the footwell will be a part of that too, so just stay tuned.